Hey everyone! Today we're checking out the Caravan JFET distortion pedal by Triton Lab. And it's basically a very versatile Marshall in a box pedal that's also quite affordable. So let's start right away by taking a listen to how this pedal sounds into a clean channel with my Gibson Les Paul Standard 60s. Take a listen. Great, so that was a wonderful sort of classic crunch tone, which is one of the things that this pedal excels at. So it's basically a Marshall amp in a box pedal. So you put this into your clean channel and then your clean channel turns into a Marshall amplifier basically. But this pedal does more than your average Marshall amplifier, and we'll get into that. So that was my Gibson Les Paul Standard 60s with the Duncan JB in the bridge into this pedal, into my orange Rocker 15 Terror, which has the natural channel, and that channel is my favorite, or one of my favorite channels for adding preamp style pedals or distortion pedals. It's just a great pedal platform. And the amp was being fed into my usual RedSeven Amplification Amp Central reactive load, and then into an OwnHammer Rockbox IR from the V30MV 2001A speaker option, the modern 3 mic mix. And that's basically the Celestion Marshall vintage speaker. So that works with Marshall style tones. So a little while back, somebody made me aware of this company. I had never heard of this company. I think it's a smaller European company, but they make some cool products. And they sent me this pedal to try out. Caravan. FET distortion with those cool graphics. I like the looks of this pedal a lot. And this video is sponsored by Triton Lab, by the way. So thanks to Triton Lab for sponsoring this video. But of course, as always, all thoughts and opinions are 100% my own. So this pedal is basically a dual gain JFET distortion pedal, emulating the sound of a tube amplifier inside of a little compact pedal. And as I said, it's quite affordable. It's handmade, but it's only 130 euros. So that's great. Let's check out what the website has to say about this pedal real quick. Caravan is a JFET distortion using tube amplifier circuitry. Design solutions have been applied in which the field effect transistor imitates the behavior of a vacuum tube, which saturates the sound with even harmonics, acquiring a warm tube sound. In addition to the classic gain, Caravan has an additional gain, which controls the clipping level of the last stage. Using various combinations of these controls, you can vary the nature of the overdrive from light crunch to a heavy growl over a wide range. To ensure good signal dynamics or headroom, an increased supply voltage is used, 33 volts, which is generated by an internal boost converter. Okay, so I'm not very technical, but maybe for the technical guys out there that would be of help. But yeah, basically they did some wizardry in the circuitry to make it sound like a tube amplifier and to have that organic feel. And when you're playing through this pedal, I must admit that it feels great to play. There's a certain sag and squish going on that's quite pleasant. Now in terms of the controls, it's a simple pedal and straightforward. We have a 3-band EQ over here with bass, middle and treble, and a presence control as well for fine-tuning the top end. And I must say that the EQ controls, especially the treble control and the mid controls, are very responsive. They have a huge impact on the tone. So you can really go in and fine tune the sound there. It's not like my JCM 800 where the EQ stack is very subtle. Not at all. So that's cool. Then we have a volume control over here. It's recommended to set the volume of the driven sound to the same level as the clean sound. And then we have two gain controls, so the gain 1 and the gain 2. They both have a little bit of a different flavor and you can blend them to taste. And then we also have the bright and fat switch over here, which is a nice addition. Signal goes into here, comes out of here, and this is your 9-volt power supply jack. Now, in order to demonstrate how the controls affect the tone and how versatile this pedal is, let's loop some riffs that were recorded with my Les Paul Standard 60, so the same guitar as the intro. And then I'm just going to dial in all the controls so you can hear how they affect the tone using the exact same setup as in the intro, and pay special attention to the treble control and the bright fat switch and the gain controls and how they sort of affect the tone when you blend them in and stuff. Check it out. Cool. So that treble control is definitely quite powerful and it has a huge effect on the tone, also in the mid-range. So to get a more classic tone, I like to set this lower. It gives a bit more of that classic honky Marshall sound. But for a more modern and sort of slightly more scooped sound, in terms of the response and the saturation, you can set it higher. The bright and fat switch is also cool. I prefer the bright setting as it just brings the mid-range forward, but the fat setting is great too for a bit more of a thick sound basically. So you can get some really nice low gains with beautiful dynamics, as well as some quite high gain and sort of fuzzy tones out of this pedal and everything in between basically. But it is definitely more versatile than, say, your Marshall JCM 800 or your Plexi in terms of the amount of gain and the tonal shaping options that you have. Now I want to try a bit more of a modern rock tone with my ESP LTD EC1000T in charcoal burst with the Fishman Fluence classic open core pickups in it, on the bridge pickup, on the hot rodded humbucker voicing. And let's add a little bit more gain and also raise the treble a little bit for a bit more of a modern sound. Take a listen. Nice, so that's a quite different type of sound. More gain and a different response in the mids. So slightly less honky, a little bit less classic Marshall-y, and plenty of gain as well. So that's the Caravan FET distortion pedal by Triton Lab. I think it does a great job at emulating that classic Marshall tone, especially with the treble setting a little bit lower, but then you can go beyond that, adding more gain and changing the tone to your liking. So it's quite a flexible pedal. And for 130 euros, I really don't think you can go wrong. So if you're looking for a Marshall amp in a box style pedal, I can definitely recommend this pedal, and it's also just very sturdy and it seems to be built really well. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, as that really helps the channel out. I'd hugely appreciate it. And of course, you can also follow Sonic Drive Studio on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hope to see you soon. Cheers.